Fight!
Me and Blockbuster have a lot of feelings because Blockbuster literally was my childhood. I'm positive. I'm gonna give y'all a rant because I have to kind of want to break from this game for a second here. As a kid, Blockbuster was my portal to luxurious gaming, and that, like, you know, as a kid, the staples were pretty standard. You got 2 games a year, Christmas and birthday, assuming you had good grades the whole time, obviously. So, you know, for me, it was like, yeah, you got 2 games a year. Use them wisely, and that's if you had the power to, you know, guide your parents by what you wanted. You know. So the Christmas list was your way to, you know, what's the word here? Like, target the exact games you wanted to get. Like, you know, here's the list of what I want. Easy peasy, right? When I became 10 years old was whenever my dad was like, all right, look, I'm gonna give you $5 a week. Assuming you do everything, you do the, you know, you clean your room, good grades, take out the trash, blah 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 blah. You know, do everything, and you get $5 a week. And I was like, shit, $5 a week, deal, and done. So I always just be like, all right, look, I would finesse because, you know, $5 don't mean shit. $5 is a pack of Skittles and like maybe a Coke vanilla and maybe like 2 things of Starburst, right? Just, you know, just whatever, right? Sugar. Alternatively, $5 is like 1 pack of Pokemon cards, so it really felt like it was nothing. You know, you got 1 pack, that's it. So that was kind of like, oh, man, dude, do I want to blow my load on 1 Pokemon pack? What if I get a bad pull? You know, it's kind of stressful. So, dude, Pokemon legit was like the absolute money sink, dude. I thought, and it's funny because I thought Pokemon was bad, and then I got into Yu-Gi-Oh, where Yu-Gi-Oh was the literal money sink. Like, oh my god, like how much. I don't even know where I got all this money from to play Yu-Gi-Oh, honestly, because every card was so damn expensive. I quickly caught on that the best way to maximize the value of the $5 agreement my dad had for me was to go to Blockbuster, because a video game rental was $5 plus tax. And I'd be like, all right, well, look, well, I don't want anything. I just want to go to Blockbuster. So by agreeing to Blockbuster, I maximized the $5 to its highest potential, you know, whatever, $5.50, because it was plus tax. And I got the, you know, the obligated trip now to Blockbuster. Hey, look, I earn my allowance. I want to spend it on here. Please take me here, and I will shut up and I'll be out of your face for the whole weekend, like free. We're going to Blockbuster. I rent a game that weekend. I'm completely off your back all the way the whole weekend, free. So I wouldn't say I would always, but majority of my allowance money was definitely blown on a Blockbuster game rental any given weekend. And a lot of my shit was, you know, through Blockbuster. Again, because I didn't have a lot of games, honestly. And what's crazy is that I always was being pushed for time. Like, my mom would take forever in these stupid ass clothing stores. And then when it's like, you know, when it's my turn, when it's my time, when I want to go to Blockbuster, man, she's like up in my shit. Yo, are you done yet? You got it? I'm like, it's been like 5 minutes, man. I'm trying to figure out from this box art, do I want to rent Buck Bumble or Quest 64? Both look kind of lit, but I don't know what to do right now. You only have the box art to make a gaugement on what game you're gonna get. You feel me? So it's like, that shit was stressful back in the gap, dude. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, you know how hard that is to do that, man? Super Nintendo, Genesis, PS1, N64. Like, if you have all 4 consoles, right, you're just like, damn, dude, well, what the fuck do I want? And it's like, it's hard, dude. It's hard to narrow it down to like a top 3. And then sometimes you know what you wanted. You're going there, you're like, all right, I'm here. I want Banjo-Kazooie, and my backup is Pokemon Snap, and my backup is whatever, right? Street Fighter 3, whatever the fuck. Like, you go there, all 3 gone. All 3 are gone, dude. Not one of these motherfuckers are in stock right now. You're just like, fuck, dude. Really, dude? Really? Pokemon Snap sold out still? Really? Banjo-Kazooie? All of them sold. There's like 12 copies here. All of them are sold out, dude. Really? If you ask me, okay, Trihex, well, what was the most iconic rental you had? I say iconic, the most influential rental you had. The answer actually is, and it's crazy actually, I remember this, Paper Mario 64. That was the one where I was like, I didn't know if it was going to be good or bad. I really wasn't sure. But then I rented it and I got really into it. Because it was like the first RPG I ever played besides, I guess, Pokemon technically. And dude, I fell in love hardcore, and I was like, damn, dude, I kind of want to buy this game actually. But of course, the pitfall here is that I couldn't buy it because I couldn't afford it because I didn't have any money. So all I could do was the double dip. So you know what I'm saying? Like I told my mom to call Blockbuster and tell them, can you just bill her card and let me rent it again? And so I did that. I did the sacred technique of the double dip. Now everyone knows there's a bro code here. Okay, look, if you're renting, you know, Smash Brothers or Banjo-Kazooie, you're not allowed to double dip. You can't. That's against the rules. Like, you know, hey, you gotta, sharing is caring, right? Be kind, rewind. You can't double dip and fuck over the next kid who wants to play the game you're playing right now. But shit, man, fuck that. I was like, yo, man, look, fuck them kids. How Michael Jordan said it? Fuck them kids. As a kid, my first console was a Sega Genesis, was a Sonic 2 bundle. That was my first console. That was my intro to gaming, was that. So as a youngin', I was a Sonic fanboy. I got a Super Nintendo with Super Mario 1 from my mom's friend who was leaving to go to the Navy, and I think her and him were really close friends or something like that. I don't really know, honestly. I don't even remember what the guy was actually. But he gave me, 5-year-old me, his Super Nintendo, which is like crazy. So my intro to Mario was through this person who I don't even know. That's why I wish I knew who the person was. This random person's generosity changed my life forever, and I was able to, he gave me a Super Nintendo. Like, full stop, no cap, real talk. Gave me that and Super Mario World, and I was like, wow, this is really awesome. Now, what's funny here, though, as you all know here, in Mario World 1, in the overworld, after you cross over Cheese Bridge and you get into the Forest of Illusion, that's where I was stuck for a long time. I never could figure out how to get out of the Forest of Illusion. So I just never made it to Chocolate Island until I was like 6 years old or 7 years old. Like, for a full year, I was like trying to, I was trying to get past there, and I didn't know what to do. I remember asking my mom for a Sega CD. She told me no, probably because it was too expensive. I'm thinking back now, if the Sega CD was $300 when it came out, yeah, probably way too expensive. She probably told me no, even though I wanted Sonic CD really, really bad. I remember that, but she was like, is it for Genesis? And I was like, no, it's for the Sega CD. She was like, oh, well, that's too bad, because you ain't getting that. I told her, I was like, man, can I always thought the box art looked so cool. You know what I mean? Like, I would look at that. I want you to imagine, you know, this is hard to envision here, but like in the 90s, KB Toys, Toys R Us, Babbage's, EB Games, like going to all these game stores and just seeing, you guys understand how important the box art was. I would sit there and just like, you know what I'm saying, just like stare down that box art for like what felt like hours, dude. Just be like, damn, dude, I wonder what it plays like. I want to play it, dude. Like, Metal Sonic looks so cool. The box art looks so cool. I would try to find any ads in Sunday newspapers that have, like, you know, Sonic CD now on sale, and just like try to draw the box art. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it was crucial back then, y'all. It was crazy. And then in 96, notable here, I did get a Nintendo 64 when it was brand new. So my mom went all out and got me a 64 with Mario 64, and I thought it was amazing. Well, obviously it was amazing, right? So I'm like, 96, I'm playing like Mario 64 like every fucking day, all day. And I remember particularly here, this is when my gamer genes are kicking in, because like I could play Mario for hours and I was chill. But my dad, being the boomer he was like, he was worried that my brain was rotting from the TV. So he was like, hey, look, you've been playing that game, like, you know, this is like, you know, this is over Christmas break, 96. He's like, hey, you've been playing that game for like 5 days straight now. You don't want to go outside? And I was like, no. He was like, well, you know what? You're going outside. I'm like, man, but what I did? What I do? He's like, no, you gotta go outside. Like, you're in the house too long. So he kicked me out and threw me outside. And I had to like go like do shit, which was like dumb. I want to say I went outside I rode my bike around and I finessed and told mom I was hungry. Could I get some lunch? And I used the finesse of mom making lunch as an excuse to come back inside, and then just kind of like pretend I had to go poo or whatever. And then I went back to my room and play some more Mario. Like I just, you gotta finesse. You can't go back and directly do Mario. You have to like go back in and like eat and then I don't know, do something else and then go and play Mario again. So five head easy. Ain't nothing new right there. You know about the finesse. So yeah, I played Mario 64. I think it's amazing. And if y'all recall here for the launch of 64, it was only 2 games. It was Pilot Wings and Mario 64. So I played Mario like a fuck ton. This is where it gets interesting. Okay, so as a kid growing up, lived in this really shitty apartment complex, and my friend at the time, his name is Rafaelito. Rafaelito is about a year younger than me, so if I'm 8, he's 7. He has an older sister named Lynette, and Rafaelito also had a 64, but notably, he had Turok Dinosaur Hunter. Okay, so we would play a shit ton of Turok, and it was that was pretty cool. But then the plot twist came in where like again, I don't remember the years here, but he had Turok and he had GoldenEye, and that's when the game changed. That's when it was like, yo, bring your controller over because I'm fucking that ass. So Turok was all right, Turok was like kind of cool, but GoldenEye was where the game changed forever here. That's where everyone brought the controller over, you know what I'm saying? Everyone was doing that thing, and we were all, dude, it was GoldenEye, bruh, all fucking day, dude. Holy shit, dude. I remember asking my mom for a Sega Saturn because I was like, mom, the new Sonic's gonna be on the Sega Saturn. Can you give me a Saturn? Why didn't I get a Sega Saturn even though one was really, really, really bad and I had good grades? I had an AB honor roll. Because, son, that shit was $400 in 96 or 95. You wild. You wanted a Sega CD, that shit was $300. You wanted a Sega Saturn, how much that thing cost? I'd be like, I don't know. Let's go look. Man, she laughed at me when she saw that price tag. She was like, wait, you want this thing for $400? Boy, you wild. Get out of here with that. Like, it wasn't even like, oh baby, look, I'll do for Christmas. It wasn't even like that. It was so expensive that she was like, nah. There's no but. It's no, period. Sorry, GG, bro. Get a job. I'm out of here. And that was it, man. So once again, I narrowly dodged another shitty Sega hardware release because of the price being too stupid. 1998 comes around here, and I think at this point, I remember 1998 mostly as the year of one game. There was one game I wanted more than anything else. Y'all understand here. When Banjo dropped, the world stopped. Like, it was like, dude, all I saw on Toonami was Banjo-Kazooie commercials. I was like, yo, this game looks so fucking cool, dude. Holy shit, holy fuck. And I was like, dude, this is wild, dude. And so ultimately what happened was, for Christmas, bro, okay, I'm trying to think here. I think I really wanted a bike, but I also wanted Banjo, and I knew I couldn't get both. And so I got a bike for Christmas. I know it's dumb, right? Like I would do, first off, okay, pause here. It was 98. I was like 9 years old. Okay. So clearly I wanted a bike, obviously. I wanted a bike, but the problem was I wanted Banjo too. My mom got me the bike, or my parents got me the bike, and my grandmother came in clutch with the copy of Banjo. That's where the plot twist came in here. So I got the bike and I got Banjo, and I was like, again, because your boy was hustling and I was on that AB honor roll yet again because I was a good student, I was a good little boy, and I got Banjo, dude. Bro, nice. I played the shit out of Banjo. You don't even know. Like, I mean, you know, like, yeah, like once again though, my dad was like really like alarmed because, like, again, I'm talking like all of Christmas break, I was playing 64 and I was playing Banjo-Kazooie on the TV. And he was like, damn, bro, you don't want to go outside? And I was like, nah. And I want to say at this point, he then was like, all right, well, look, I'm gonna sign you up for like kids baseball because you need to go outside and do shit. so you like later that spring I had to like go do like, I don't know, whatever, baseball. Dude, it's just like, bro, I was so bad at sports that I was so bored and spacing out during it because I couldn't focus on it, that I would be in the outfield And I would start like, because again, everyone's right-handed, so no one's hitting balls my way. So I'm just stuck out in left field, just like, waiting for nothing to happen pretty much. I was there, I would just kind of like, I would doodle. I would like look at the sky and just like doodle Sonic in the sky. And the coach would like yell at me to pay attention. And it just felt like my dad was yelling at me to pay attention too. I'm just like, okay, well.
I love this story so much because it proves how much like you're such a nerd and you don't care about sports at all. Out there daydreaming, drawing Sonic in the sky with his fingers. Like, how cute is that?
No, it gets worse. It gets worse than that, actually. So when the ball came to me, I had to like launch it, really far. So I would reference Bugs Bunny in the cartoons I would watch, and whenever they would do it, they would do like this, right? And they would yank the thing, that way they can yeet the fuck out the ball. So I would yank the thing and then I would throw it. And like, man, they would throw to me, and these boys were getting to third base free because I was sitting there twirling the things. I wanted to really, really, really throw that ball far. And yeah, dude, it was just like, it was super cringe, but I was so oblivious to it that I wasn't even aware I was cringe at all. Like, it just, let's call it the windmill yeet. So yeah, I was the baseball kid who was doing the windmill yeet. I was the baseball kid who would strike out and then cry about it in the dugout. I would. It was devastating. And then also, there was this one time, I don't know, I'm telling you guys about all these, like, okay. Now, I want to pause here. My childhood has a lot of great memories. I'm just telling you the ones that are the most entertaining, which are usually either really good or really bad. So you're only getting the extremes here right now, so just keep that in mind. But there was one time where we played baseball. I want to say by this point, we're talking about 1999. We're talking about the following year. They no longer let the coaches pitch. Now kids could pitch. But it's also the first year they let kids pitch. So the kids didn't know how to aim. Kids were just wilding out. Kids were just like, eating balls at you, around you, into you. Like, it was scary. And I remember one time a ball was coming right towards my face. And I put out my hand to protect my face, and that shit like bruised the fuck out of my hand. And I remember I was crying, and I was like, it was at this point I told my dad while crying here, I don't want to play anymore. I don't like baseball. And like, it's funny because I remember that, but I don't remember his reaction to it. I'm assuming he probably felt like I rejected his pastime of baseball or sports. And what's sad is I think at this point he kind of gave up on me in sports, because at this point I was a cringe missile. I was bad at baseball. I doodled. I did the yank thing. I don't think I ever, hit the ball well. I was always scared to go for stealing bases, and I was, just not a good sports person. And really, I didn't care about baseball. I thought baseball was lame as shit. So yeah, obviously, I didn't care about baseball. So it's like, it was force feeding me sports, and just like, it didn't work out ultimately here. So as weird as it may sound, yeah, it was probably let down. I mean, you got to think here, a little bit of history here. My grandfather was a high school baseball coach who took his team to state and won state twice in the 80s. My dad played baseball both in high school and college and was really good at it or whatever. And then comes me, who's like none of those things at all, not even close. Like, couldn't care less about baseball ultimately here. There's an episode of Dexter's Lab where Dexter's dad tries to get Dexter into sports, and ultimately Dexter is just like so comically bad at sports, and the dad doesn't bond with the son because they have nothing in common, and the dad is doing the rare attempt to like have a crossover with the son and be like, hey, look, why can't you see what I see when I play sports? Why can't you relate? Like, look, I'm extending myself right now and like showing you the passion I have for sports. Meanwhile, there's just nothing connecting here. And just like, well, damn, dude. And that probably, and then ultimately by the end of it here, the dad kind of gives up on Dexter and walks away like defeated, ultimately slumping with the head down towards the ground, just kind of like walking away and like, well, all right, son, we don't have to try. The episode of Dexter's Lab does end on a good note, But IRL for me, that is what happened with me, but there's no note that it ends on. My dad just kind of like stops and kind of gives up and moves on. In 1999, the Sega Dreamcast comes out, and yo, it is like super lit. Like I have like my cock is at like full throttle for like, yo, they're making a Sonic Adventure, dude. I won a Dreamcast like yesterday. Do you remember September 9, 1999? 9999. Never forget, boys. That's when Dreamcast drops. Everyone knew it. Let's fucking go, son. Now, did I have a Dreamcast at launch? No. However, good news, bad news. Bad news, my parents are arguing a lot. My parents are ultimately going to get a divorce here soon. I didn't know what that meant at the time, but my parents at this point had separated, and my mom had part-time custody of me along with my dad. So I now stay sometimes in my mom's house or mom's apartment, sometimes in my dad's apartment. I didn't know what all of it meant. I was like 10 years old. I was kind of confused about it. And then there's a whole lot of shit here. Trust me. There's a whole lot of shit here. Just to keep it short. Both parents tried really hard to like win me over as the favorite, and I didn't know what to make of all of it. But I will tell you that relevant to what I remember, keyword, not the important part, but what I remember here is that suddenly Pokemon became a lot more affordable, because every time they would switch custody, I would easily get McDonald's, Blockbuster, and a pack of Pokemon cards, and I was very happy with that. So they essentially got my, like, it went from being kind of frugal to now they're both like overextending to please me for that whole kind of thing there. So that did happen. My mom had a roommate, one of her coworker friends, and get this right, clutch as fuck here. My mom's apartment's roommate's boyfriend, her roommate was Joy, her name was Joy, and her boyfriend was Rob. Rob had a day job, and Rob bought a Dreamcast because he was a gamer at launch and kept it over there for me, and he would come grab it on the weekends. So weekdays after school, my mom's custody, from September until Christmas, I had his Dreamcast so I could play. And I made sure that it was pristine. I never like damaged it or whatever, and he was very, very nice, and I was always very nice to him. So yo, it was the jackpot, y'all. I had access to Sonic Adventure when it came out. Ugh, dude. And I had no dad cockblocking me from playing it. I played the shit out of it, dude. Bruh. So yeah, it was Nirvana. Like, Christmas for me lasted like the whole second half of 99. It was wild. And obviously then I got a Dreamcast whenever I was come Christmas. But by that point, I already busted like 5 nuts worth of like, nostalgia for the whole game there. So that happened. So I had a Genesis, Super Nintendo, N64, and then a Dreamcast. I actually didn't get a PS1 until 2000, because by that point, the PS1, the actual PS1, the smaller PS1, yeah, this one right here, I got one of these, I think for my birthday in 2000. And it was at this point that I was able to, start playing, Gex Enter the Gecko, Tony Hawk Pro Skating 2, Jersey Devil, Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3. I started, I finally got access to all that stuff, started playing all that shit in 2000. So 2000, I did a lot of that, a lot of PS1 backlog, and I also got into Paper Mario, which also came out in 2000, if I recall correctly. By 2000, my parents divorced. By 2001, my mom is like, yo, well, look, remember I live in Florida here. I'm going to Louisiana because my father, my mom's saying this, my mom's dad, my grandfather, my mom's side, is not doing well health-wise, and I want to go take care of him. And so, like, they argue in court about it or whatever. Again, I've only heard, y'all, it's so dumb. Whenever divorces happens, like, you never know what actually happened because all you ever get is, like, her side, his side. So, I don't know. Both were saying they both tell me they both were assholes to one another, or both would tell me that the other person was an asshole to them. So I don't even know what the fuck even happened. But either way, a lot of arguing happened, and ultimately my mom was able to win custody of me. And so me and my mom moved to Louisiana from Orlando, Florida in 2001. And I've been in Louisiana since. Major thing here is that my grandmother stays in Louisiana. my grandmother loves me a lot, and I am the only grandchild. So therefore, what happens here essentially is that now Christmas is like double buffed. Christmas and birthday are like super buffed now because I'm in her vicinity at this point. So what happens now is my grandmother offers me a very lucrative proposition relevant to my childhood gaming addiction, which was that, hey, look, I will pay you $50 a month if you do everything. Good grades, cut the grass, no bullshit, wake up on time, yada, 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 right? Just do everything. $50 as a 12-year-old. I was like, dude, you want my soul too? I will go to Millhouse's crib and shoot him and give you his soul. Like that's a you have a goddamn deal. So from here, I am like Uber at this point. I can now save up money and buy my own consoles at this point. As long as, because every month I'm getting $50 here, so it's not hard to do at this point. So that is insane. So what happened now was I bought a GameCube in 2002. I bought a PS2 in 2003. And at this point, man, it was game over, dude. PS2 I knew was lit because, I knew I was missing out on Gran Turismo, Kingdom Hearts. My cousin, all right, so my older cousin, his name was Boogie, and he had Grand Theft Auto 3. And he was like, yeah, bro, you'll love it. Check it out. And I remember playing it, and it was like, it felt like I was like eating out of someone else's cookie jar. Because I was like, this game is like really violent. And I know my mom probably wouldn't approve me playing this game, but I'm at my cousin's house. So it's not, I don't own the game. I'm just playing the game that he has. So this is like, I think I'm good here. I mean, she's not going to know, right? So it's like, so I was playing GTA 3 and I was having a blast. I'm sitting there like killing people and like, running over people and like doing kind of like all that wild hood rat shit. I didn't even do the missions. Like I remember fucking around and playing GTA 3 for like hours and never doing the missions. Like I didn't, because you didn't have to, you didn't care. It was like, the game was amazing, dude. The whole idea of open concept, free roaming worlds were amazing. Here's the facts. I literally, age 12, maybe 13, went to a Walmart and bought GTA Vice City from the electronics aisle. No ID, no backsass, no glass bin. Yo, there was a point where video games were not behind a glass display at Walmart. Hard to believe, but was true. DVDs and games were just like grabbable by the aisle. No fucks given, dude. It was crazy. So theft probably through the roof, and underage minors buying M-rated games also probably through the roof here. It was a wild time, man. By 2003, my little shitty rural town finally got a GameStop, and boy did I abuse that. That is where I traded my old Game Boy Advance to upgrade to a Game Boy Advance SP in 2003 in time for the launch of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. And man, anyone here who remembers here, going from Game Boy Advance to the SP with the clamshell and the backlight and the rechargeable battery, it was like you went from the year, 4500 BC to like the year 3550, like Jetsons. You were just like, holy shit, dude. Clamshell, backlit, battery, and the new Pokemon's out. Dude. Oh my God. It's amazing. And the battery lasts like a fucking week. Oh my God. You're no longer stuck like tilting at an angle with the lamp, looking for AA batteries in the remote. You were like, dude, it was amazing. It was like, it felt like a smartphone, like leapfrog in quality of life. Dude, it was insane, dude. Bruh. So Super Mario Advance 3 Yoshi's Island comes out on Game Boy Advance in 2003. And I'm playing it. And I'm just like, damn, dude, this game is really fucking good, dude. I remember beating it and just like, man, but I want more. And so I just kept playing it over and over again. And here's the thing about it, like very abnormal, like gaming habit here. I am playing this game long into 2004. I remember playing Yoshi's Island alongside the release of San Andreas. San Andreas came out in 2004. And so like, I was playing this game for like over a year, just like, damn, this game is like really, really lit. And I wanted more and more and more. And I remember even 2004, I bought a DS Fat. I got a Gen 1 Nintendo Tank certified DS Fat, and I was still playing Yoshi's Island on that thing, dude. I was like, man, this game is so good though. That was the beginning, y'all. that was the beginning. I think from there, you kind of know where things go from there. You know, and Yu-Gi-Oh's reign stops and speedrunning begins, because in 05, I had discovered what or really 04 discovered what speedrunning was, but I didn't really give it a shot until 05, whenever Yu-Gi-Oh was losing my interest. And so that was it. That's where it happened.